Hello, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's enjoyed their day so far. You enjoyed your day, your work day. I don't know if you were off. I was off on yesterday from one of my jobs. Heads up, attempting to reconnected. Okay. I wanted to just come in and just let you all know my plans for the live. So as of right now, I think Tuesdays at 8 o'clock is going to be an ideal time for me. So I wanted to kind of just give you a heads up about that. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock will probably be a good time. And we're going to just have fun. You know, bring your tea, bring your coffee. If you're a coffee drinker of all times of the night, you know, whatever you want to do. I don't know what times you're able to relax, but 8 o'clock, I think, as of right now, tentatively, we're going to keep on Tuesdays. Now, Fridays, I may also pop in until we kind of like get a feel for each other, to see what each other's schedules are, to see if times work for the majority of people, and of course, myself. But I did want to kind of like chime in and just check in with you all. And I am going to post on my Instagram as a reminder. So if you are not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do that. It's Core Inspirations, one word. That's Core Inspirations, all the way spelled out with an S, one word on Instagram. And you can go to my homepage on YouTube if you need a link there. You can just click the link and it'll take you right to my Instagram page. But yeah, I want to start building more engagement with you all. I want to build community. I really was trying to find ways like, hey, I have so much kind of going on in my life, and I'm sure you all have things going on in your life as well. And I just wanted to kind of come and see what things we can do to kind of like engage, like we're all coming together and just taking our time just to kind of like sit and talk, like have a social work chat, and really discussions around topics that are relevant to you and the profession and the work that we do, and serving people, communities, children, and families. So I am definitely looking forward to building engagement here on my channel. Thank you for all the people that have been rocking with me since like day one. I've been in it about a year, not consistently all the time, but I have done what I could do. So this is pretty much a solution to me just trying to get out more content and then like reach you all. Like I want to know a little bit more about you all, like how you're doing in your program, what's some of your aspirations for after you graduate, what brought you to social work? Are you liking the field? Did you start off and then you don't like it? Like, I'm really here for it all. So I just wanted to kind of like officially probably leave this up as a replay, because I wanted to let you all know that, hey, I'm here. I'm alive and well. And I hope that you are too. But again, I wanted to, connect with you all. Do we have somebody in the chat? If we have somebody in the chat, definitely state your name. Yeah, state your name. I'm just pretty much explaining about me wanting to engage more. I think somebody's trying to type their name. But yeah, I'm just pretty much, do we have 2 people in the chat? Let me find out. Who do we have here? If you can state your name, that'd be perfect. State your first name. Oh, Rosie, hey, girl. Let me find out. I'm over here trying to see what you all doing. I'm trying to come up with a schedule. Okay, we got 3 people coming in. So I see Rosie in the house. Anybody else in the house, please state your name. I'm just pretty much talking to everybody, just letting people know about my plans of engagement for the channel. I'm thinking Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I think that's probably the date that I'm going to start with. Yeah, I think somebody else is in here too, Rosie. I came on for a little while before, and I said, let me come back on just a little bit. I'm trying to get my schedule on point. Yeah, I think somebody else is here. It shows 3 people so far. But what about Tuesdays, Rosie? Does Tuesdays at 8 o'clock work for you? Or does like 8:30 work better for you? And again, if you are here, if you're just kind of coming in, you're trying to see what we're talking about, my name is Melanie. I am a BSW MSW LCSWA. I'm a social work graduate. versed in the social work field. I've been having my channel, I will say, for about like over a year, a little bit over a year now. And really, at this point, wanting to really engage more with viewers, wanting us to have like heart-to-heart conversations where we could talk about all things social work, things that resonate with you, things that you may be experiencing in your program. Again, I've obtained my BSW, my MSW, and I'm also a licensed clinical social work associate. So I have a lot of skill sets in that department. Social work is a passion of mine, but also like reaching back and letting people know like what it took for me to get where I'm at, you know. I'm really wanting to engage more. So right now, previously I was like doing videos, but it's so much with the editing. It really takes a lot, you know, time, and I really don't have that right now. So I said, you know what, let me try to, you know, come up with some different ways. And I stumbled across the Streamlabs app. Like, I've just found out about that. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So I'm trying to find some scheduling times. It's either going to be possibly right now, either Tuesdays or Fridays. And I'm trying to find out what's a good time, because I don't want it to be too late, but I do want it to be a time frame that kind of works for the majority. And maybe just hang out for like an hour and talk. We're going to probably have topics around certain things. I'm just checking the chat to see if anybody else is in here. But again, that's pretty much what we're talking about. So a lot of times I think just for like conversational purposes, I think what I probably start having you all do is probably like DM me on Instagram, like some of your questions prior to, and then we can kind of like go over things like that. Because I know one thing about me, when I was kind of going through the program, there was like people that would talk about certain subjects, but it was like I needed particular things that I really wanted to know. So I'm really wanting to make sure that I answer both of y'all question. Who is this right here? Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like check in and make sure that, you know, the questions that people are having, that I'm able to actually address those questions. So I'm still pretty much planning out the process. I want to keep it really simple, really laid back, really just, you know, carefree and flow. And we just really converse. We're going to I will probably have subject matters, but then sometimes we might not. We might just kind of go with the flow, you know, more impromptu. So that's pretty much what I'm talking about. If you are a BSW student or MSW student, I would love to know. Comment below. Let me know your name. Let me know your program and where you're at in your program. Is this your first semester, second semester? Are you doing advanced standing? Like, let me know. Me, myself, personally, I did advanced standing. So like I said, my undergrad is in social work as well. I obtained my BSW. And then I took a year off, and then I went to obtain my MSW. So, yep, the channel is about all things social work. But also another component of the channel, too, which I'm also very, very passionate about, is core living. Expound upon that a little bit. And if you go on my channel now, you'll see some videos on core living. But I'm very passionate about of us doing our inner work. A lot of times with the work that we do with clients and, you know, families, communities, children, it takes a lot out of us. You know, it takes a lot out of us. And really within the profession, you know, we give so much, and it's just so important that we learn how to do our internal work. Like, we have trauma, you know, we have to unpack our, you know, trauma and baggage, you know, so I think it's so important. And I'm actually personally on a journey myself, you know, wealth and health and wellness and overall well-being, of really being my best self. You know, I don't know if that really resonate with you all. Yeah, I see you, MSW Advanced Standing, second semester. Yes, ma'am, Rosie. Yeah, how was your day, Rosie? Did you have a good day today? I hope you did. But I'm pretty much just expounding upon the core living segment of the channel. And it's about really touching about things that pertain to you as a person. Like, I just finished a class at 8. Okay, so you finished at 8 today. I'm gonna keep that in mind because you were definitely a faithful viewer of mine. It's 8:34 now. Okay, so anything before 8 wouldn't probably work for you on Tuesdays then. So 8:30 might be a time frame. I don't know if it's going to be too late for some people, but I'm only probably going to be doing it for like an hour. So we might can work with 8:30. We might can do that. But as it relates to, like I said, the core living segment, it's about us finding out how awesome, how amazing we are at our core. And oftentimes I think it's like we can learn so many different things about social work practices, procedures, you know, all of the modalities of therapy. But at the end of the day, you still have to bring your best self to know that. You know, you still have to bring your best self to know, you know, about self-work. You got to be able to work on yourself first, you know. She just finished the class at 8 today. Okay. I'm still trying to find out the times that are probably going to work best for me and then some of the viewers. So I don't want something that's too late, but I want something that will work for people's schedule. But yeah. Yep, I've been trying to chime in a little bit. Did you have a good day though, Rosie? How was your day? Okay, what you say? Overwhelmed. It went well, overwhelmed though. What were you overwhelmed about? What were some of the things that you were overwhelmed about? I guess I can put this in front of me so I can see. I'm be looking down because I got this little Chromebook over here. What were you overwhelmed about? Okay, overwhelmed though. Glad I caught alive. I know. Your girl is out here trying to be better. I'm out here trying to be better. The amount of papers I have to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk about it. For one class or for several classes? Yeah, March, April, May. Yeah, it's crunch time because you're about to graduate. So I know you just kind of like, listen, let me get to the finish line. Like, ugh. Several classes. Is it any one particular one you're kind of like overwhelmed with? Like, is it just in general just having that amount of assignments to do? Or do you already kind of like have a plan of what you're going to do like to get it done? Or it's about having all of them do. Okay. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. Now, are you the type of person, like I said, everybody's learning style is different. Everybody has their own particular strategies and techniques of how they do their papers. So are you the type of person you feel like you kind of work best at the, like pressure at the last minute to get it done? That's your best work? Or do you feel like you're more like I have to start early and plan out my papers? What's your method that works for you when it comes to like doing your papers and all of that? Okay. So if you start early, you do better with that. Okay. Let me see the little chat thing on here. It's like really weird how they have it. I guess I don't have to have it up here. You have to be in the right frame of mind too. Yes, I found myself like I have to kind of like be in the mood, you know, to kind of have your little writing flow. Yeah. And sometimes you're not always in the mood. You still got to just rock with it and make it do what it do. Are any of them group projects? Like, will you be doing the papers like with a group, or all of the writing assignments individual? Yeah. You do have group projects. Okay. So you have that on top. Okay. Because I know you're pushing for spring break. I know you're pushing for that. When's your the earliest due date that you have to have the papers done? When is one of your earliest due dates for your paper? And how long does it have to be? If anybody's coming into the chat, please state your name. You are definitely welcome here. We're just having a little chit chat. My name is Melanie. I am the earliest due tomorrow at 11. Oh my gosh, Rosie, tomorrow at 11:59. What is the paper? What does it have to be about? So again, if you are just coming in to view, my name is Melanie. You are watching Core Inspirations Live. This channel is all things social work, and right now I'm actually talking and really just kind of conversing about scheduling. I want to kind of engage more with my viewers, and I'm thinking Tuesdays at probably 8:30 or 8 o'clock may be the best time. So maybe Tuesdays or Fridays, but I'm gonna start posting it on Instagram. So if you have any particular questions, just if you're not interested in showing who you are, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. And if you have any particular questions as it relates to social work, definitely DM me the questions, because it's probably starting either Friday or next Tuesday. I'm going to probably start addressing some of those questions. Let me see. Okay, you said the earliest due is tomorrow, 11:59. Agency practice. Okay. So you're 5 pages. Okay, so you on it then. You ain't me. Some of my stuff, I'm telling you, I will have to wait when it comes to writing, because it's a strong skill set of mine. It's like I'm a writer hands down. But at the end of the day, you gotta go with what works best for you too. But yeah, it sounds like you're already on it though. If you already in 5 pages, and it's about agency practice, okay. Yeah, you got this. You got this. If you're already 5 pages on it. So let me ask you this, Rosie. What have you done for self-care this week? I know today only Tuesday, but what have you done? From last time that we talked, you was telling me about, you have a lot going on and really haven't had made time for self-care. But what have you done this week for self-care? But yeah, I'm looking forward to the discussions. Like, I really want us to have some good heart-to-heart discussions. I'm really excited. I'm nervous and excited. Nothing. We're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to work on that. Yeah. I'm not as tired as I was. It's hard due to on time. Due to time constraints. It is. It is. It is. Trying to balance everything and still live and still function. Yeah, it is. It can be. But it sounds like you got a hang of it. I mean, you're already about to the finish line. So you kind of already know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. At this point, it's just like done, 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 done. It's graduation time. So let's talk about that. That's something exciting. What are you planning to do to celebrate your MSW degree? What do you plan on doing to celebrate? Because May will be here before you know it. Yeah. I remember my undergraduate was like, impromptu, not planned out. And then my master's, I was like, we can't go out like that twice. So I was like way more organized about it. I really haven't thought that far. Okay, okay. It's definitely here. You could pretty much, this month is about to be over in a little bit. You got March, April, and boom, you got May. So would you say that you're more of like a family-oriented person where you kind of like to gather around your family and kind of do more like a dinner setting? That's what I did for my graduation from my MSW program. It was just really, really nice to have everybody come out. Or you're the type of person to kind of go over a house and kind of celebrate, have like a party / gathering. Like, what's your taste of celebrating? I know we got COVID too, so it's like we have to be super creative. Again, anyone joining, if you have any questions, because I'm going to be starting doing more lives. This channel is all things social work. I talk about my personal journey of obtaining my BSW, my MSW, and my provisional license, my LCSWA. And I really want to be a support. I know a lot of people are doing remote programs and not so much, signed up originally for an online program, but due to COVID, I just want to provide support, and I want to build community. I want to build community around here. And just trying to find ways that I can actually add back. This is definitely a passion of mine. This is something that I wish I had available when I was entering into my programs. But yeah, it's all about helping each other. And then also helping ourselves along the way. So I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over, but it sounds like it's people kind of popping in and out. But the core living segment of this channel is also something that's near and dear to me. It's pretty much the part of the channel where we really dig deep within our own personal lives, outside of our professional skill sets and responsibilities. It reminds us that we are first human beings before we're social work students, before we're social work professionals. And I want us to do our work. So your work may look different from mine, but at the end of the day, we're human. We got things we have to work on. So it's so easy to push our stuff back, on the back burner. Some of you all may be mothers and wives and sisters and friends and aunts and nieces, So it's just a lot of hats that we wear. And it's really, really important that we take time to really strengthen who we are at our core. Because we're awesome people, but sometimes we just don't know how awesome we are. Sometimes there's trauma. Sometimes there's, disappointments, hurts that may be kind of like, at the forefront of what we are and what we see. And sometimes that blocks who we really can be, Join the co-crew. Everyone get a space to be. I know that's right, Rosie. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And I saw your comment, so I didn't get a chance to respond back. But yes, self-care. But it's becoming, like I'm telling you, I'm actually reading this book by Brene Brown. And I know people have already kind of heard it. But The Gifts of Imperfections, like, oh my goodness. Like, we could just have a conversation about that. Like, I think for me personally, like, as growing up, I didn't grow up with learning boundaries. Like, I don't know if that resonates with anybody. Like, as you get older, as you, walk in different spaces professionally and personally, I think it's just so important to get real clear on your boundaries. And I'm not talking about being nasty and cruel and mean. I'm not talking about that, but really respecting that, hey, I'm this person. I have these skill sets. I have abilities. But I also have boundaries, And I think as society, sometimes it teaches us, like, if we have boundaries, oh, we're rude, oh, we're nasty, oh, we're complicated. But at the end of the day, when you're depleted, feeling used and abused and frustrated for not enforcing boundaries, whose fault is it, So that's what I'm talking about. Internal work. Internal work. Now, that's so true. Oh yes, they do the stuck up thing. Yep. Yes, I would agree. Yeah. Now, what's your how would you say? Have you always been a person, Rosie, that like you enforce boundaries, or were you taught that? I guess that's a better question. Were you taught boundary setting as a child? Would you say that you've been taught that as a child? boundary settings. No, I wasn't. I learned the hard way. Oh yeah. Yep. I think I'm right with you with that trial and error. Like finding that, hey, some things are not a service to me. You know, it's a disservice to me. And really, even with family members, I think sometimes with family members it can be harder, you know, but we spend a lot of time at work too, so it's just as important. But I think with family members, especially like our parents or people that raise you who have some type of significant, you know, like authority in your life as it relates to like you feel like you owe them out of respect for what they did for you, raised you. But we still have to have boundaries. So I'm on the journey with that too. I'm on a journey with that and getting comfortable with really setting that and seeing what that looks like, you know? Wow, that's spot on. That's what I'm talking about. You said, I used to be such a people pleaser. My mother is a giver. So a lot of those things we kind of pick up, you know, a lot of those things we pick up. Now, would your mom often be sad or frustrated that people wouldn't, it wasn't a reciprocity where people wasn't able to give back to her? Like she always felt like she was giving, giving, giving and never receiving? Like did she feel used and frustrated and drained dealing with people all the time? And I'm not saying that's always the attribute of being a giver, but I know a lot of people that often are natural givers that can kind of feel depleted like that. No, yes, she did. Not always, but she would brush it off. Okay, okay. So what was it for you? Like, what was your aha moment when you was like, you know what, yo, I got to change this. I need a boundary. Like, I need to learn how to put something in place. What was it for you to kind of like change the game? When I say I am so excited about, I know it's like, what, 2, 3 people in here, but I'm so excited. I see so much for this channel. And when I tell you it's just not about me, it's about really, I'm just like, I want to be, you know, I want us to really kind of like be all that we can be professionally and personally, you know, like wholeheartedly, you know, being a whole and taking our careers by storm. But first, I feel like personally, a lot of success, a lot of, you know, calling the shots, you know how people say boss moves and all of that. I'm just a component of doing internal work, starting with your core. You got to know what's for you, what's your values, what's your beliefs, what's your non-negotiables, you know? So most of the things that I talk about on this channel is always going to be coming from a place of inner being, inner knowing, and we build upon that as it relates to our personal growth and professional growth. I'm all about development. And we have to, you know, bump our heads sometimes to develop. But sometimes we can share and we can expound and learn from others as well to help us strengthen our own decisions. Okay, let me see here. Looks like I get it there before there. I noticed when I got hurt or felt used, it would sit with me for a while. Then I realized when I stayed mad, had a grudge, they lived their life. I came to the conclusion in college and undergrad. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to read it again. Because there's other people, like I said, everybody may be shy, may not want to show who they are, but I'm glad you're here nevertheless. But Rosie, I really appreciate you being transparent. I'm going to repeat it. You said you noticed that when you got hurt or felt used, it would sit with you for a while. Then you realized while you stayed mad or had a grudge that the other people, they just kind of lived their life. And you came to that conclusion in college and undergrad. That is awesome. That is really, really awesome. Yeah. So what did you learn about, like, okay, this is my limitation. This is my threshold of, like, this is what I'm taking. Did you, like, what did you put in place to kind of, like, combat those feelings of frustration and kind of, like, lingering anger or hurt or disappointment? Like, what was your strategies to kind of help you say, you know what, I'm going to do this from here on out? But this is development, because you're going to need that for the workplace too. You're going to need that for all the other, places that you're going to be going throughout your career. But I love it. I love it. I love it. It's 8:54. I do need to probably look at some of the groups. You know what? I need to look and see if we can do private lives. I don't know if they offer that on here, but that'd probably be better. So that way, if people come into the group, they can possibly be private, so that whatever we talk about, like, just stays within the group. If anybody knows anything about setting up parameters or settings for a private live, please DM me on Instagram at Cornspirations, one word. Instagram me on at Cornspirations, one word on Instagram, and DM me if you know anything about setting the settings on YouTube for private lives, because I want our space to be very intimate, like where we're talking about, certain things that we feel comfortable talking about. Let me see what you said, Rosie. Hold on. You said, I learned that not everyone will accept my boundary. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Some friends and family will have to go. Yep. That's so true. Yeah. And I think as we get older, as we mature, we really we realize that. We learn that. And I think it's like, it depends on what type of person you are. Like, I'm definitely a relational type person. Like, I like to be with the person, see you, I'm very a relational type person, hands-on. So when you're talking about like having to let people go or have to change, and it can be really hard. It can be really hard to do, But sometimes it's necessary depending on the situation you're in, especially if people like are toxic or negative and they're not really, you're affected by it, or impacted by it in a negative way. And you may have made attempts to maybe change the relationship, voice your concerns, and there's still no change, So I definitely can understand that. And I think it's maturity. I think as we get older, we realize that everybody sometimes are in our life for a season, Some people are in our lives just for certain situations that we may be in, like as we're journaling through, And then you got those lifetime hitters that's going to be there forever, no matter what. And y'all relationships are kind of like up and down, or, But I think that we just owe it to ourselves to be able to know when something no longer serves you in, as it relates to your growth, to your development, to your spirit man, I think we have to be more in charge of that, and being intentional about who's in our space. And assess. Yep, assess and purge if you need to. But I think it's not always an easy thing. And having support always helps too. Again, anyone that's watching right now, my name is Melanie, and you are watching Cornspirations Live here on YouTube. We're just chatting, just talking about general things, but my plan as of right now is to do lives more on a frequent basis, because I wanted to engage with my audience. I have obtained my BSW, my MSW, and I'm provisionally licensed. I have my LCSWA, and this channel is all things social work. I share my personal journey, personal experiences, but as of right now, what I wanted to do is to have us come together on a regular basis, at least 1 to 2 times a week. Like, I think because I'm just kind of starting out the lives, it may just be 1 time a week until we kind of get enough people in there. But it's really not a number thing. It's really more of an impact thing. Who can I reach, because a lot of times people are struggling in their programs. Like, I've been in like my undergraduate program, my grad school program, where people who started out did not finish, And it's not to, throw shade, but sometimes life happens. Sometimes that's the best thing for them, to end the program and start again. But I'm just saying, people need support out here, And that's my heart. That's my heart, and that's what I want to do. So I just want to be able to do more things for the body of social work students as we transition from that classroom to career, because there's a whole lot of things in between that sometimes being in school does not teach you. And I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's important too, Rosie, that we do have community, especially during these times. And even as mental health professionals, because some people that may be watching now, you may not know, but I am a therapist, and I am in the clinical sector as well. I'm also work in the nonprofit sector as well. So there's a lot of insight that I have around that. And I love therapy. Like, I absolutely love it. But it's just so important that we just build community to support one another, And that's why I was like, you know what? I want to maybe see if we can do like private lives, but we'll see. We'll see. But I am looking forward to them. I really, like, when I tell you I'm so excited, I'm just like so glad that cause you see me already on here. I think I've been on here 3 times now. So that's already a game changer. Like, I love to show up for you all, And I really was. I've been like, oh my goodness, I've been trying to plan and do this and do that. Like, I love it. And Rosen, when I tell you, girl, you on my heartstrings, like, I appreciate you just kind of showing up and just always being there. Like I said, I've always have not been consistent, and I do my best, I do my best to kind of do what I can do. But I think this is going to be a better way to just kind of get it out there, I think I am. I think I'm going to save this one. I think I am going to save this one so that way people can see it and view it. I think I am. What you think? You think I should save it as a replay? Okay. Okay. I think I'll do that. I think I do that. I probably have to play around with it for a little bit, but I might just leave it the way it is and just let people see. I know I've repeated myself several times, but it is what it is. I just want to let people know when they could expect me. So I think Tuesday at 8, I'm going to say 8:30. Let's start there. Because, Rose, I want to give you some time to kind of at least give you some time to get situated after your class, too. So I don't think that's going to be too late. Yeah, we'll start it off there, and then we'll just make changes. We'll make changes accordingly. But Tuesdays at 8:30 for right now. That's going to be our first tentative, like, ongoing weekly check-in. Tuesdays at 8:30. And then Fridays, I probably just pop up after I probably get done for my day just to kind of check in with you all. That works? Okay. Yep, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's going to work for right now. And then I'm going to get what we're going to talk about for Tuesday, just to kind of like have a subject matter. And then, again, we can kind of go impromptu if we, run out of something to talk about or something. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the growth, and really just letting people know, like, hey, you found your tribe. Like, this is officially the social work tribe, and letting people know, like, they can listen to not only me, because other people on YouTube that do similar things as well, that's been in this longer than me, but everybody has their own different perspectives. So you're free to do that, but we are a community of one, and it's important that we have support. What are you about to do for the rest of the night, Rosie? I'm so excited. I am so excited. I really am. And tired. I got some other. I need to stop saying I'm tired, but I am a little sleepy though. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little sleepy. maybe sleep, I think. I feel you on that. Yes. I totally feel you on that. I've been trying to keep monitor of how many people are watching or viewing so I don't miss out. But again, if you have any particular questions that you want to do for like our first official planned Tuesday social work discussion, definitely I'm about to say DE me. DM me on Instagram at Core Inspirations. Let me put it in here so that way you'll have it. Core Inspirations, one word. But if you go to my YouTube main page, you'll see it there. But I'm going to put it in the chat so that way you can see it. Core Inspirations, one word, at Instagram. So that way I can look at your questions and I can do my best to make sure that I include them in and that I can give them thoughts. And if I don't know, I can research and look up to provide you with some additional insight. There you go. You should see it in the chat. Core Inspirations, one word. That's C to the O, to the R, to the E, to the I, to the N, to the Inspirations S. Core Inspirations, one word with the S on the end at IG. DE, I keep saying DE, DM me there. And then I can look accordingly to your questions and concerns. But if not, if no one does, we still got content that we're going to proceed on with to kind of like engage in conversation. So I can kind of get your perspective too, like where you stand on certain topics. Yeah. So long day, Rosie, huh? I'm about to be getting into bed. Well, not right now, but I am going to be getting into bed soon. Yep. And if anybody else want to say anything, if you have any questions, or if you wanted to say something now outside of what me and Rosie are talking about, you are welcome to if you feel the need to. If not, totally fine. All right. Well, I guess we are going to call it a night. I think this is a good place to end it here. And like I said, just definitely check out my Instagram. I'm going to be making sure I post something so that way it's as a reminder, you know, letting you know when you can expect it. And then I think I'm going to be leaving this up as a replay. So that way, if anybody has questions about it, you can refer them to this channel. Or you can just remind them on Tuesdays at 8:30 will be the first time that we're going to be doing our lives. Again, it's going to be discussions about all things social work. If you have particular questions or concerns or things that you feel like you need further insight about, or even things that you want to share, if you want to be able to bring those things with you or DM me, you can definitely do that. So it's up to you. Looking forward to the next live next week. Have a great night. All right, you too, Rosie. See you later. Have a good night. Get you some rest, girl. I'm going to stay on just in case anybody else, probably for about 2 more minutes, and that's it. Again, if you have any questions or if you want to introduce yourself, feel free to do so. I'm going to stay on here about 2 more minutes to 9:10, and then I'm done for tonight. But if you have watched the replay, you were able to hear Again, my name is Melanie. I'm here to do what I have been called to do, which is to motivate, encourage, and build up the students and the professions within the profession of social work. And I want to do my part, and I'm wanting us to collaborate and talk and exchange and engage in good, deep, rich conversation as it relates to some of the things that you may be experiencing in your undergrad program and your pursuit to obtain your BSW or within the MSW program and on, so I'm definitely here for it. And without further ado, you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.